I just came up with this routine to sort of help me organize some things that are useful, okay? There's two parts to this. It's going to be hands and then hand-foot combination. The foot can be either foot, but the foot is only going to get one note, okay? The hands may change. It may be 2 hands in 1 foot, 3 hands in 1 foot, 4 hands in 1 foot, but the foot's only going to get 1 note, okay? So let's just begin, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So we're going to start with the hands, okay? An easy routine to just sit down and start practicing. Hands, and we're going to think of 1 through 4, the numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4, okay? So number 1 is 1 beat per hand. So we're just going to go single strokes, the same thing as single strokes. And you can move them around a little bit. It doesn't really matter what you hit. I wouldn't just hit anything, just like anything that comes to your mind. I would sort of do some type of pattern that you can repeat if you wanted to. You may be able to use this. Why practice random hits when you could practice something that makes a phrase that maybe you can use for a fill or something, right? So I'll just move them around a little bit. We're still on number 1, single strokes, okay? Okay, so that's the hands part of the first one. Now the first hand-foot combination is 1 hand and 1 foot. We're going to start with the right hand and the right foot. This is practice. This is real practice. This isn't something that, it's not going to be the most fun you ever had behind a drum set, but this is the type of stuff that makes you better, okay, for sure. So here we go. 1 hand, 1 foot. Right hand, right foot. I encourage you to use the hi-hat too, because the hi-hat's kind of neglected. I know that I neglected it for a long time, and you can have some control issues over your hi-hat unless you use it, right? So just do the same thing with the hi-hat. You can alternate. See, I made a little flub there. This thing's driving me crazy. So there's a little screw on the bottom, underneath your bottom hi-hat. There's this little screw, okay? And if you tighten it or loosen it, it pitches the bottom hi-hat to give you more or less angle for that chick. And I don't know what I was doing, but I had it pretty angled, and it was just driving me crazy. So, but back and forth. And this is going to be good for building some of these beats with the floor tom. In my case, what I've been doing for a while, what I like to do. So here's the exercise, right, was... So if that was faster, it would be... If we hit every one. Let's not hit every one, okay? I'll put on the metronome, so I'll try to play in time here. And I'll keep the hi-hat for reference for you guys. And I'll play a beat with the floor tom, and some of those, of this exercise that we just talked about, I'll use some of those, and you'll see how it comes in handy, okay? Here we go. This is set at 8th notes at 74 beats per minute. let's put the tempo up a little bit. Something like that, okay? The exercise was, and the beat, there it is. You can add in maybe the other low floor tom or even the high one with some sort of flams, make it even meatier. Things like that, okay? So that was the first one. Now we're on number 2, double strokes. Nothing to see there. Now I know, at that speed, double strokes are kind of difficult to use. You're not really going to use them at that speed much. But if you practice them slowly and they start speeding up, you can use them for a lot of things, okay? Same with paradiddles too, and they have a double in them. So I'll speed up a little bit. I like using them in the hi-hat too. Maybe in between toms and stuff. You know, things like that. So that's double strokes. Do them and keep them all even. Don't let the pinkies fly. You need the strength of the other ones. So now our combination side of this is 2 hands and still the 1 foot, because we're on number 2 now. And that was double strokes, 2 on each hand. So now 2 hands and 1 foot. Okay? I would just practice it now like that, okay? Because you need to get sort of really used to it and have it be fluid before you can use it. But if you can think about speeding up a little bit after you practice, and then we kind of move it around. Right? If we put it in context, if I kept some eighth notes over here, you can also run these combinations through any other notes. What it means is you can have these combinations, so that makes a group of 3. Right, left, foot, and then I'm repeating it. So it's actually a group of 3 notes, and you can put those through eighth notes, 16th notes. You can put them through eighth note triplets, or sextuplets, or whatever you really want, you know. So I'll just do a couple of those, the easier ones, so that you can kind of see how it sounds different with different notes being used, okay? I'm not going to use the metronome here. Let's just see what happens. want also. So there's number 2. Get creative. You don't have to use them over and over and over. You can use a combination like a few 3 hands and 1 foot. Things like that. You know, you can use them in pieces too. Okay, now we're on 3. Number 3. That's going to be 3 on each hand. I'm going to think of these as 8th note triplets. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet. So they're even, okay? You'll see why in a minute, right? There's 2 number 3s and there's 2 number 4s. So let's talk about the second number 3. I'm going to think of these as 16th notes with the hands. And it's more of a burst. 1 E and, 2 E and. There will be 1/16th rest on the 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1/16th rest, and that leaves 1 E and, 2 E and, 3 E and, 4 E and. Okay? That would sound like this. And I would do that also. That reminds me of a burst. This is what I would consider a burst. Something like that, a little flub in there, you know, but that'll help you on the burst, okay? So those were the 2 3s for the hands. Now we have the combination of the hand and foot. And that's going to be 3 hands, but 1 foot, okay? Like this. You can do it right, left, right. You can do it left, right, left, and then the kick. Just practice them both, and if you're a right-handed player, then do the right, left, right kick more, or whatever you want. You know, there's not really any rules. This combo, the hand-foot combo, 3 and 1 makes a phrase of 4. You can use these through 16th notes to start, or whatever you want really, but 16th notes are kind of easy because 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and Okay, the only thing you have to worry about is in that sequence, the bass is on So if you go 1, you're going to have 2 basses in a row. If your tempo is too fast, you might want to end the last one with your 4 hands. So if your tempo is really fast, you might want to do that instead, unless you have the foot to do it or whatever. It's just a different variation that you can get out of having to go with your bass drum. Okay? So, and you can move that around a little bit too. Something like that, right? Okay, so now we're on to 4. Again, nothing really to see here. 4 on each hand. You just gotta sit there and do it. Put the metronome on. If you have a practice pad, you can use that. You can put on some song, and whatever the song's beat is doing, say this is the beat. I don't even know. I just picked it out, right? Boom, boom, bop, boom, bop, boom, bop. Right, 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 right. Left, 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 left. Right, 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 right. Left, 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 left. Right, 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 right. Left, 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 left. You know? Use the song if you want, but metronome is good. And just sit there and just do that. Just get over it. The second hand part of 4 is where you go 4 on the right hand, 4 on the left hand, and then 8 on the right hand. Then 4 on the left hand, 4 on the right hand, and then 8 on the left hand. Looks like this. I'll do it slow, okay? It looks like this. You're doing 4 and 8 on one hand, then double strokes and paradiddles and different stuff get easier, and you'll be working on your weak hand, might be a little bit harder to do. Okay? And then the last one is the combination. 4 hands and 1 foot makes a combination of 5. Okay? Sound like this. Okay, so let me put that through a couple notes, different type of notes, and see what happens. Let's see it. This would be 8th notes. Okay, super cool. That's really cool. Let me use sextuplets, and I'll put that phrase through it, and I'm just going to sweep right here. That's one of my little secrets there. When it's going fast, you can't really tell what's going on, right? That's pretty cool. So let me play a beat, and I'll just use all these different combinations and kind of mill around a little bit and see what happens, okay? Paradiddles are awesome. They're even. Right, left, left, left. Okay? You can use them for a lot of things. You sit down on the kit, paradiddles. I'm accenting the pair. paradiddle, 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 paradiddle. Okay? I like to use them to find out where my cymbals are most comfortable. I'll use the pair with the kick drum. They're great because they're even, so you're not, I mean, think about it. If I play this beat, that's 8 of these for one of these, okay? So paradiddles are even. So if you just want to sit down and start doing them to warm up, it's awesome too. You can use them as a fill. Check it out. Okay, use them as a beat. A good exercise is to play your paradiddle on the beat. Think of it as 16th notes. Notice I'm sliding the bass drum down 1/16 each time, right? Every time it moved. And that'll make you be able to play pretty much any bass drum with paradiddles. And that makes them sound a lot better too. You can mix them up right here. That's cool. I watched, or actually, no, I had a book a long time ago, Joe Franco, and he used paradiddles between here. Right? Add some double bass and speed it up a little bit. Something like that. And when you're doing the paradiddle, you have a couple of singles and you have a double. So that really helps you out with doing doubles. Maybe you want to start a fill. Okay, so check it out. You want to get better, you want to get better as fast as possible. So it's not going to be the most fun ever, but you have to do it if you want. How bad do you want to get better? For a half hour? Then the other half is just fun, kind of like what I was doing at the end there. If you just screw around too much, it's not that you won't ever be a good player. It's just that, I don't know, I mean, it could take a little bit longer, and you You may be a great player, but you might not understand, you know, maybe you won't be as creative as you could be. Alright, so that's that. You can leave me some feedback about this. If you have any questions, you know, if I went through this too fast, I mean, it's late, I want to get out of here, so I'm kind of flying through this. Just leave me a comment or something, tune your drums, and keep playing. Alright, thanks.